three indicators that tell us that this is the deal. What this does, it rips off all the feelings that you have in that particular property.
You do not want to find yourself in a situation whereby you buy a house and then somebody was like, no, it's just cosmetics, only to find out that beneath that face, it's terrible. So those are our three top secrets. These are our indicators. These tell us if it's a good or bad deal.
Hi there.
Nong Wealth, you tune into Nong Wealth, and this is Nell.
And this is Lebu.
I'm so excited, so happy. You know, every time we do say this because we're really passionate about property, man. Tell them about it.
We like giving all of our information that we have to you. So now today's topic would be the three indicators that tell us that
this is the deal. These three indicators are indicators that tell us, that indicate, that actually say, guys, go for it. So, and we are willing to share it with you too.
So now the first one that I look at, right?
Tell us.
I'm sure you're looking for it, right? So now the first thing that I look for, right, on the listing agents, right, I'm looking at your probably like property 24 or private property, right? What I do is that I look at how many listings are there in that particular property.
Okay.
So now once I see someone having three listing agents with three different amounts, then I know that there's something that's going on here.
Let me guess, you're gonna go for the highest.
I might not know the highest. Right, so now what we look for is that on those listings we check at the margin how much how different are these three prices, right? Or maybe four, depending on how many listings are there in that particular property. So now once you have more listings, you definitely know that, okay, there is a problem here, because now this person keeps on decreasing the amount a lot of times. So now that's the first indicator that this might be something, right? Still on the listing there, if the property, when you're looking through the properties, right, if it seems or shows any sign of distress, right? Because now when someone is taking those pictures, they always take the best part of the building, right?
With HD, man. I mean, they got the best camera ever.
Yes, the editing.
Green screen.
Oh my god, editing, the effects. You know them, right? So now
you do that.
Yes. So now what happens is that they put on all of these cosmetic things that make the property look nice, right? But now if I see the slightest thing that makes it look like there's a problem here, I know that this might be a potential distressed property and this might be a good deal, right? So now the first thing that, just a quick recap on the two things that I'm looking at when looking at property 24 or private property, is the first thing is that I'm looking at the listing agents. How many listing agents are there? And then I'm looking at the price ranges. Is it a consistent price or does the price keep on decreasing, right? That's the first thing we look for. The second thing is that we're looking for any defects that are in that property.
And with defects, I mean, don't be fooled and thinking by can do cosmetics, because I remember with one person whereby they had a budget of about 100k to do renovations, and only to find out that the pool was a mess, guys. The pool was a mess. Only to fixing the pool was about 60k. So imagine that's more than half the price that you actually budgeted on.
Yes.
And do not forget, guys, you want to spend more of the money actually inside.
Yes.
I do not want to spend 60k on the pool and then only spend 40k on renovations inside.
Yes. So now on the cosmetics, right? Don't only say it's only cosmetics. Get someone to actually come with you and evaluate how much are you actually going to actually spend on that refurb.
We always talk about having a power team, because you might not know everything. You might be the smartest person that we ever know, but you might not know everything. So once you got an expert who's on your side and who'll be checking the building thoroughly before you even buy. Do not forget, guys, the reason why I'm saying before you buy, you do not want to find yourself in a situation whereby you buy a house and then somebody was like, no, it's just cosmetics. You know that word, cosmetics, it's just cosmetics, only to find out that beneath that face, it's terrible. It's terrible. What that is actually going to do, it's going to be chowing your profit. So with due diligence being the second one, it's now emphasized, it's now highlighted, it's now out there that guys, do due diligence, guys. Do not take things for granted, guys.
So now, what is due diligence? I'm sure in the past video you heard me saying due diligence, due diligence, due diligence, right? So now due diligence is actually going to the property and seeing what's going on. Due diligence is the thorough research that you actually do to actually check what's going on in that property, right? So now, say for instance, if you see a property on Property 24 and you just call them and say, hey man, I would like to make an offer of 1 million, right? So
or
now,
even auction, I think it also happens with auction. You're just bidding and you never seen the property.
yes, so now your due diligence is actually going to that physical property, checking how much it would cost for you to actually do the fix up, the renovations and stuff like that. After there, then you have done your due diligence.
Last but not least is our favorite. This is the indicator that tells us, guys, is this the one or is this not the one? Do you want to take the guess?
What this does, it rips off all the feelings that you have in that particular property. Because now, when you're dealing with property, you don't deal with your feelings that, oh my God, I'm in love with this, right? If this doesn't actually tie up with your feelings, then this is not a good deal.
I like this one so much because he's more of the emotional brother. So now what happens here is he'll be like, wow, I saw the pool was so nice, man, it has 4 bedrooms. And then what I'll do, I'll get my magic pen and I'll run the numbers and I'll be like, nope.
So the third one that you're talking about is running the numbers. Guys, it's important for you guys to run your numbers. I think on the flip game, what's the most important thing is your ROI. How hard is your money working for you?
Sure. And then with regards to rental, especially when we're looking at multi-let, that's when you're looking at your cap rate, guys. You need to know that this is the cap that I'll never ever submit to, or is this the cap rate that I'm looking for? So if it does fall within the range of your cap rate, you go for it. If it doesn't, you do not.
Yes. So now with regards to flip, right? With regards to flip, the ROI that we're looking at is 15% on your, it's 15%. Because now
is our indicator.
Because now what we're looking at, we want to get a deal which beats what the bank would actually offer, right? Because now it wouldn't make sense if the deal would give me 6%, and if I just left my money in the bank, it would have gave me 7%. It doesn't really make sense, right? So now what you'd want to do is that you want to get an investment that actually beats the bank. Because now if it doesn't beat the bank, then why would you actually do the run around, negotiating, emotional roller coasters? Why would you actually go through that instead of actually putting your money in the bank?
And also because we're running a business, I mean, when we go to somebody and ask like, okay man, how about you invest in this thing? You need that pull factor, man. You need to motivate them. I'm not going to motivate you by saying that take out your money from the bank and then you're going to be charged those charges, and then once you give it to me, I'm going to give you a less amount. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, man.
Because now what happens is that a lot of people prey on other people's feelings, right? You're my brother, please invest with me, I'll give you 5%. Oh no, it doesn't work like that. When it comes to money, man, we're all about numbers. Is the investment that you're giving me higher than what I can actually get in the bank, or is it lower? If it's lower, then count me out. But if it's higher, let's see the feasibility of that particular property actually going into place.
Emphasis on numbers. Do not overestimate, guys. You see, when it comes to our numbers, I wish I could show you, but I wish I could show you our numbers. We always work on the worst case scenario. Like if you could sit with us while we're running our numbers, the word that will be consistent is like, what is the worst case scenario? Like, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? Because you do not want to go to a partner and be like, hey man, I'll give you something like 50% interest on that. I mean, how possible is that? How possible? I'm not saying that it's impossible, but how possible? If you do have a deal right now whereby I can get 50% within 3 months or 5 months,
post it down in comments.
It has to deal with property. We don't want illegal things. You know how things operate.
Yeah. So now, if we want to deal with a property which actually gives us 50%, if you do have one, right, prove us wrong and post it down in the comments. We'd actually like to see it.
I dare you.
Yes. So now, running the numbers, always run your numbers properly and deal with worst case scenarios.
So those are our 3 top secrets, guys. These are our indicators. These tell us, is this a good or bad deal? shared just for you.
Nong Wealth.
Signing out.